The podcast that celebrates the incredible journeys of women in network marketing. I'm your host, Lori Hart, and I'm here to share the empowering stories of women who have risen in this dynamic field. Whether you're taking your first step or scaling new heights, this is your space to learn, grow, and be inspired. Join us as we explore the paths to financial freedom, the joy of working from the comfort of your home, and the power of breaking through barriers. Together, we'll discover how network marketing is more than just a profession. It's a journey to transforming lives. Well, hey there, everybody. How are you? Lori Hart here with a really good friend of mine. I'm super excited for today's interview because I got to meet this rock star a while ago, and she's totally a rock star. Wait till you see what she's wearing today. If you're not listening to the podcast, you get to see what she's actually wearing today. But she is one of the most amazing, humble women that I've ever met in my life. She brings a light and an air of like a refreshing air to everybody she meets. You'll see that in just a minute. I could listen to her voice over and over again. She's inspiring, and I've had the pleasure of meeting her now in person a few different times, and I'm super excited to spend this weekend with Miss Kate Higdon. So welcome, Kate. I'm so excited to have you as my guest today to share your insight, because your story with network marketing is going to impact lots of people when they kind of hear a little bit about your background and the reason why you got started. So I'm just going to let you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you, and then I'm going to lead you into a few different questions. So welcome, Kate.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So hello, everyone. I am Kate Higdon, like Lori said. I live in Owensboro, Kentucky, a 48-year-old mom with a 19-year-old and a 22-year-old. An amazing husband who I've been super blessed has supported me on this entire journey. I know a lot of women don't always have that, so I do feel very, very blessed. He's always like, I don't get these guys out here who aren't just like rooting their women on. Like,
I love that. We're gonna dig more into that. That's amazing.
Yeah. He's a big fan. He's a big fan. We have 2 dogs, and I just kind of stumbled into this industry. I had never really done this before. I am a professional. I've owned my own business for over 20 years. And I always considered myself this professional woman and never really saw this industry as that. I really didn't. But what I have found is it solved all the problems that I had. Like, it really, really did. It solved all the problems. It removed all caps of how much I could earn, removed that. It removed the time issue. It removed the having to give up things with my family to do work. It removed that obstacle. And it just has become something that it's like when you can do something in your life that gives you impact and financial reward, grab hold of that and never let go, because that's going to internally, it's just going to fuel you and make you feel better. And so I love that what we do gives us that impact, and we also get financially rewarded for it. And so at the end of every day, I can lay my head down on my pillow and I'm like, I did good today.
Yeah.
I did some good today. Yeah. And so I don't know if you want me to kind of share with them about like why I got started or where I was at when I got started.
Yes, I want all of that, but now I want to kind of segue into some of the things you just said. Like, you just dropped some really good golden nuggets, and I know my mind, it will go woo if I don't address them now. Couple things that you said that were amazing. So people don't wake up in the morning and go, yes, I'm going to join a network marketing company because I want to make impact. But when you finally get in to the network marketing company and you finally understand all that it has to offer and the impact that you're making, it's just a beautiful thing, right? You came from a world of, was it a office professional? What did you do before? And then we'll talk about Jason after, because I do want to touch on that case of women without a supportive spouse, but we could maybe do that at the end. Where did you come from? Yes, your story of getting started is what gives me goosebumps every single day, every time I think about it, because it's really, truly amazing. So yes, I'd love to hear that.
Yeah, so I'm a photographer. So I come from a creative background. You mentioned my rock star. Like I love all things creative. I love thinking outside the box. And so I've been a photographer for 20 years. My husband and I we've owned our own studio for 20 years. And that was our life. We loved it. We created our photography business not because we had this passion for photography, which everybody thinks. I mean, I found it interesting. My husband found it interesting. He is very artistic. He plays guitar. Anything he goes to do artistry wise, he can accomplish. I do not ask me to draw a picture. It will be, my kids are like, oh, mama, that's sad. Like, so but photography was kind of an avenue for me. But we actually started it because he had a engineering position in plastic injection mold engineering, which is this weird random title. And I was actually in the nonprofit space. I was the executive director of a nonprofit organization. And so we had these very professional careers, and we found ourselves only being able to spend a couple hours a day with our kids. And both Jason and I, like our dreams, we just had these dreams of creating this family environment and really being present with our children and knowing them, knowing who they are and having them know us, and us really being able to influence how they grew up. Mm-hmm. And so we were like, what can we do that we can create a career where we can have our kids with us all the time? And we happened to have a nice camera, and I was scrapbooking, and people were like, these are great pictures. These are amazing pictures. I would go to these scrapbook stores, and then they would say, will you photograph my kids? And I'm like, ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
So we started a photography business, and it just grew huge. We were able to have our kids with us while we were working in our studio. And it was great. It was highly successful, the most successful studio in our area. And then in my 30s, I started to get sick, very sick. My health just really tanked. And when you're self-employed, your medical insurance is pretty poopy. Mm-hmm. Our deductibles were crazy. And I was like in and out of hospitals. I was in and out of doctor's offices, lots of medications. And we got behind. Like we got behind on our mortgage. We got behind on our taxes. We couldn't work more. If we wanted to add, what were we going to do at that point? Like we had this huge business that was growing and flourishing, but we couldn't be there. We couldn't add another job. Like it was miserable. And really, really depressing and really down. We were arguing all the time, fighting, because you know that like the destruction of marriage, the number one thing that destroys marriages is actually finances.
Yeah. Yep.
And so we were fighting about money all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And network marketing kind of had come into my life because of health and wellness. I was looking for something for health and wellness, and fell in love with a product. And then I remember it was like December of 2016, and it was December 12th to be specific. Listen, you remember those days, right? The days that are very like burned into your brain. December 12th, 2016, knock on my door, and it was the mailman delivering foreclosure papers to us. Wow. At that moment, we were losing everything. I didn't have $5 on a credit card. We were behind on our home. At one point, just a couple months before that, our checking accounts had all been seized by the government because we were so far behind on taxes. Like it was just the lowest point financially that we had ever been. And we didn't really see a way out of it. But my mom was in visiting. My mom's a big part of my story. She's 83 now.
Wow.
My mom was in visiting, and she said, no, 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 no. She said, I see how you are different. Like she had seen this difference in me from just experiencing getting healthy. And she's like, I believe in you. And I believe that if you start sharing this with other people, it's going to change their lives and that's going to change yours. And so my mom actually financed me starting my network marketing business.
Wow.
Like she did. Cool. And she said, hey, you got to pay me back within just a couple of weeks before my credit card statement comes in. And I was like, okay, because you do not want to owe my mama money. She's a little scary like that. And so, I mean, I was just like, I went to town. I soaked up every single thing that I could get my hands on. I did not look at it like, I didn't look at network marketing from as a spectator sport, if that makes sense.
It makes total sense. Yes.
I didn't look at it as a spectator. As soon as I joined, I'm like, I'm a player on the field. Let's go. Mm-hmm. And when you're a player on the field, what do you do first? You look to your coach and you're like, okay, what do I do next? What do I do next? How do I take this turn? How do I take that turn? How do I maneuver the ball down the field, with the whole sports analogy coming to my mind? Yeah. And that's what I did. And I was able to, I needed to pay my mama back, which I was able to do within a couple of weeks. Then I needed to make $2,000 to save our house from foreclosure, to like pull it out of that process. Did that within 30 days. And I was like, okay, I think this might actually be a thing. Mind you, my husband knows nothing. He does not know what I'm doing. He is not involved whatsoever. I'm like, it's not that I'm hiding it from him, but I'm just not really sharing, if that makes sense. And mind you, like a few months down the road, he's like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? And he's looking and he's like, give me your login information. I want to see this. And he's looking at it and he's like, oh, you need to keep doing this. You need to keep doing this. And within 6 months, we had pulled ourselves completely out of credit card debt, paid off all of that. Within a year, we took our credit score from 540 to 800, which is his favorite thing to do. He loves to get on his phone and check his credit score. It's such a weirdo like that. Yeah. Within a couple years, we had sold that house. We have a new home. We've traveled the world, taken my daughter to Paris, France. We've visited Costa Rica. We've been able to pay for our daughter's college education. Mind you, where we came from was we had a stack of bills that we didn't even open, because what was the point? We couldn't pay them. To now all of our bills are on auto pay and we don't even have to think about it.
What a feeling.
That financial reward is phenomenal, but the impact reward is even better, because what I love about network marketing is it's not a selfish business. It's not a selfish business. You get rewarded for helping other people do what you've done. Right? That is not in any other business. There's no other business like this. Like the top of a hospital, like the CEO of a hospital, does not get rewarded by helping the janitor become the CEO.
Right. I love that. Yeah.
No, he does not. He does not. But we get rewarded for helping people who are in similar situations as us. Because, we have a mentor told us that, like, the person that, that your best, what do I want to say? Your best suited to help is the one that you were before. So when we reach out and help people that were in a situation that we were before, we get that impact, that soul impact, but we also get that financial impact. And I don't really know any other industry that is like that, to be quite honest.
No, because if you think about any other industry, say you and I both worked at a bank, you don't want to help me do better because I could get the promotion over you.
Yes.
It would be in your best interest to mostly sabotage me, right? Because I mean, that is really a good eye-opening look through network marketing, because you don't get ahead unless you're helping other people.
It's absolutely right.
Don't. And so I mean, I think that if you're somebody who loves to help people, that should just be a no-brainer right there. But also, Kate, you talked about you had a very busy photography business. So I'd love you to touch on how you were able to fit this in if you guys were crunch time. I mean, how did you get this to fit in with all of that?
So it was actually a blessing having the photography business in this, because network marketing is not about transactions. It's about relationships. And having my photography business allowed me to have lots of relationships with people. And so it was just a natural way to, like, when I had clients coming in, it's chatting with them and talking to them and asking them, leading questions to see where they where were their pain points. Do I have a solution that I can offer to their problems? So I was talking to people all the time. I also, Jason and I had traveled across the country and taught photography. So we had a really good sphere of influence at that time. So I had a little bit of I think I had like 2,500 friends on Facebook at that time, which is crazy compared to what we do now. But when I started, it was like 2,500. And so when I started sharing on social media, I had people in Alaska, people in Ohio, people in Indiana, people in Texas saying, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And so I would work at the studio and I would go in and I would talk to people in person, because I love like feeling someone's energy and looking in someone's eyes and knowing that, we're going to help each other. I love that feeling. But then the people that were like not around here, how I would fit that in is like once or twice a week, I would hold these little Zoom calls and I would invite them and chat with them and let them listen about the product and the opportunity and share with them. And it was just like these little, like, I believe in calendars. This is my new planner. I have a beautiful new planner for the year. I believe in this. And if you organize your time, you can find these little 20-minute windows, 30-minute windows, 10-minute windows. Yeah. You really can. And I think more people have more time than they think they do.
Yeah.
They really, really do. If they got critical about how they're spending their time, they would realize, oh, wow, I'm wasting a lot of time. Like, I think people waste a lot of time like on their Netflix. I think they waste a lot of time doing those kind of things. I think people sleep in the morning past time than they should. Yeah. I think people probably have times in the afternoon or lunch when they're checked out, they're scrolling on TikTok. And you could make that actually a profitable 15 minutes. You could make that a profitable 10 minutes or 30 minutes instead of wasting that time and wasting your mind also.
Yeah. Yeah. And what you're saying too is so good, because you're not saying, oh, go ahead and give up your full-time career because you have to fit this job. And I think sometimes people think, oh, well, I don't have the time because I don't have like a desk and an office and can sit for 8 hours and do this. But it's literally in the nooks and crannies of your day. But not only that, you talked about finding all that extra time that you have in your day, right? So that's awesome. And so one other thing we had talked about a little bit is, what would you say to that woman out there that has a little bit of fear of not having the skills yet, or not having that support from friends, family, and a husband? She might have found something that she loves and she's like, oh, I would love to add this to my plate. I'm busy and I'm not getting the right excitement from my friends, my family, my husband. Yes, go for it. Like Jason was super supportive for you. What would you tell that woman?
I would tell you to try to become a woman who does not require their acceptance and that. Don't try and change those people, because you can't. And that is a path that will lead to running into walls. You can't change anyone. But what you can do is continue to work on yourself. And I heard someone say one time that network marketing is basically personal development with a paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
And I so 100% believe this, that if you decide that you want more for you, and that means that somewhere inside you, you do have this belief that you can make it, There's something inside you, because if you have the desire placed in your heart, then you have what you need inside you already. Okay. And you feel that. So if that desire is on your heart for more, what you need is already inside you. You have to lean in on that, believe that, surround yourself with people who are going in that same direction. So lean into the teams that you're working with, lean in with your coaches and your mentors, and find pockets of people that are lifting people up and want better for other people, and make it a focus of who am I becoming? Like truly make that your focus. I just actually had a coaching call not too long ago, and it was, set your goals. We have our outcome goals, our financial goals, our impact goals, and that's great. And we should always have those goals.
Yes.
But really the biggest goal is identifying, when you achieve that goal, who are you at that point? Who is Lori at when she achieves that next goal? Because it won't be who you are right now. Right? And then start working to become that version of yourself now. Start working on that. And that's going to compress the time. That compresses time. Because only way to build a better business is to work on becoming a better version of yourself. And so when it comes to how are people, what do you do if people aren't supportive of you? What do you do when your spouse isn't supportive of you? It's become that person that doesn't need their support.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And you have to believe, and you also have to know that you're worthy of that. You have to really believe that you are worthy of it. It's one thing to believe I can do this. It's another thing to say I'm worthy of this.
Yeah. Yeah. And we've been so blessed to be able to meet Jamie Kremlino and her book, Believe It, and her book, Worthy. It's just, I'm reading them now. I'm really loving it. I can't wait for the next book to come out. So I was going to ask you that also. Who do you love that inspires you most to become a better version of Kate? But also, I love how you're explaining that to somebody, because I'll be honest with you, in my business, I don't have a lot of the people that I knew before using my product or joining me in business. I grew a better Lori to go find better, and even my own Craig, we've been together 17 years now. He lets me be me because he knows it makes me become a better version of me. And so I really love that. But who on a daily basis inspires you to become a better version of Kate? Do you have somebody, or is it more of just a collection of things?
It really is a collection of things. I have people that when I listen to them speak, it always fills my soul. I have authors that I love, podcasts that I love. I'm a big fan of Jenna Kutcher, who has the podcast, the Gold Digger podcast. I'm a big fan of, I've always been a fan of Oprah Winfrey and Dolly Parton. I have Dolly Parton right up here. I've got it's an actual original artwork of her.
Wow.
And I love these women who just decided, first and foremost, what they decided is they were going to step into their authentic selves.
Yeah.
And it was be me or be damned. Be me or be damned. And there is no settling for anything less. Mm-hmm. And just honoring who they are and honoring what they want from life and leaning in. Even though we all have these fears, fear is natural. Everyone has fear. There's no such thing as a fearless person, right? These mentors of mine, people that I love, I listen to their podcasts, I read their books, I watch their documentaries, all of those things. They're not fearless,
right?
But they're courageous. Yeah. And courage is acting within the presence of fear. And just surrounding myself with women, like you just said, Jamie Kern-Lima, like listening to her story is phenomenal. Like she just didn't stop because she believed in herself. She believed that she had value. She believed she was worthy of being heard. Yeah. And she was worthy of the dream that was the desire that was in her heart. She had a desire that was in her heart, and she believed she was worthy. Same thing with the women that I try and surround my brain with.
Yeah.
I also do spend a lot of time listening on YouTube. My husband will laugh when he hears this, but there's a YouTube channel that I have listened to for 7 years.
Okay.
It's called the Mulligan Brothers.
Uh-huh.
And this channel is a compilation of speeches, and they're all motivational speeches. They're, it might be Jim Rohn or Zig Ziglar. It might be T.D. Jakes. It might be David Goggins. It might be Mel Robbins. It might be Oprah. It might be Matthew McConaughey. All these different speeches, and they're compiled together with similar messages. And so you just go on there, and I listen to that every day when I wake up in the morning. When I wake up, I always have like 3 questions I ask myself. How can I add value to myself, my team, and the world as a whole? And that value I add to myself is listening to Mulligan Brothers or a Jenna Kutcher podcast or a speech by Oprah or something like that. I just want to use that to fill my mind.
Yeah. I love that too, because a lot of women will say, well, I want to grow, but I just don't know how. And doing these things that Kate is explaining right now is perfect, right? Consuming content that is good for your brain, good for your soul, helps you to become a better you. So that's awesome. Thank you. I'm going to look the Mulligan Brothers up. Thank you guys. Write that down. Write that down. That was a really good nugget. So Kate, I love to talk a little bit about, like, for me, it was so exciting to see you. So Kate and I are in the same company, and it was really cool to watch Kate be able to travel across our stage. And I do talk about this because I think it's important. Yes, you can come into network marketing and only want to make $150 extra a month. Maybe 500 is your goal, maybe 2,000. But there are women that are able to make excess of $1 million a year, $1 million a month, whatever their goals are, because there's not that glass ceiling. It's sky's the limit, baby. So I was able to watch Kate become a certified or a 7-figure earner this year, which was absolutely amazing, being able to see you get that trophy. And because that just means you've impacted a lot of people, like a lot of people. I think that about that when I start my car, like, this car is here because I've impacted a lot of people.
Right.
So what other milestones and achievements, because I want people to realize that, yes, you can have it all. And often in network marketing, people take this money and they put it towards big things like, I don't know, an orphanage. Who knows? Just you can take all this money you're making, you can give it to. So it's not all about just hoarding the cash for Louis Vuittons, although you can do that if you want. Right. So what type of milestones or achievements do you want to share? Do you have anything specific or special, or it doesn't even have to be monetary, just something that you can remember in your career as a network marketer?
Yeah. That's a big question because, I've been doing this almost a decade. And so there's a lot of milestones in there. Achievement milestones. Yes. Getting that $1 million, that was a big deal for me. I envisioned that. I envisioned the whole, like, what it would feel like once I was on that stage and getting that recognition. And I think I had shared with you, I was so nervous. I was like, what if I calculated it wrong? What if it wasn't really? Like, I don't know, all these thoughts coming up in my mind. So that was a really big deal for me. And I feel like that was not the pinnacle, though. Was not the pinnacle, because there's so much more. And what I mean by that is very early on in my career in network marketing, I was given an award at one of our company events called the Rhino Award. I actually have it behind me. And it's a really special award to me because it recognizes someone who is just hyper focused, moving forward, does not get caught up in any of the nonsense, has really thick skin, and is just going for it. And that was such an amazing achievement for me. It felt so good. My husband went up on stage with me. But I'll tell you what the better feeling is when I saw one of my team members get that same award.
Yeah.
And I remember I was at this event and they called her name and she just kept sitting there. And I'm like screaming at her. I'm like, Angie, get your booty up there. And she has a service dog with her, and which I love her service dog. And I'm chasing her up there with my phone, and I'm crying and I'm videoing it all. And it felt so much better than when I achieved it. So I know that like when I hit that $1 million and I got to be on stage, that was amazing. But I know how much better that's going to feel when someone on my team hits that same goal. And so I love that. I look forward to that. That's our goal. That's our dream. And then as far as like just things that it's done for our family, for us to be able to go and travel together and to have time. I'm not a things person. Like I don't have Louis Vuitton, anything. I don't have Gucci, anything. I don't have fancy cars. Like we have a Navigator and we have our Jeep Wrangler. They're not super fancy, but I love them. Yeah. I'm more of a time freedom person. Yeah. I love that every morning I get to design my morning. I love that I can just relax, take time, drink my coffee, snuggle my dogs, and design my life. To me, that is more valuable than a Louis Vuitton bag. Yeah. But
I'm totally in your boat.
Yeah. I mean, that's me. Other people like things like they want like the jet or, all that. Like, that's cool. Like I've ridden on private jets. They are very nice. I'm not going to lie. Yeah. Once you fly private, you're like, ew, I don't want to ever fly commercial again. Like I get that. I totally get that. And when I travel, I do like to stay in nice places. I am not a Motel 6 girl. I like nice things. I'm not saying that. Yeah. But I would say what I value the most is my time, is what I value the most. So hopefully that answers your question.
Oh, it's perfect. I think people need to hear that. Like, yes, I mean, that is time is our most precious commodity. I've heard from my mentor several times, I
did want to say, like, because you were talking about, like, most people do join our industry because they want to earn $500 a month. And I would say probably 80%. I mean, it's a big percentage, right, Lori? The people that join us, they're like, I would just like to make $500 extra a month because that would make such an impact on most people's families, that extra $500. And for me, when I joined, I just wanted $2,000. I wanted to make $2,000 to save my house. What you find is if you fall in love with it, this is a very professional industry and it can be whatever you want it to be. If you want it to be a nooks and cranny part-time extra side hustle, it can be that for you. If you want it to pay for your kids' dance lessons or travel ball, because good Lord, that stuff's expensive, right?
Oh yeah.
You can do that. If you want it to be able to pay your car payment every month so you don't have to worry about that. Or maybe you're looking to do a double mortgage and you want to double your payment on your mortgage. That's an amazing goal, by the way. It can be that. But if you want it to be more, there is literally no stopping you. There is no cap. No one is ever going to say, no, I'm sorry, this is the most you can make. We're going to keep you right here. Yeah. It's not like that. Like it's literally the value you add to the world mixed with your energy and your momentum can skyrocket you however you want to go. Just keep showing up. No, this is not a get rich quick scheme. It's going to take time. I mean, when we started our photography business, it was over $25,000 to start that business. And it took us years before we made a profit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doesn't cost that much to join network marketing and doesn't take that long to make a profit. So this is a way better business model.
Absolutely. I can't even almost fathom right now starting a brick and mortar business, just the way the economy is turning, the way you have to be there 7 days a week, morning, noon, and night, or hire somebody else to do the work for you. It's a lot. So
when you say that, like I tell people this all the time. I'm like, when we started our business, we thought, oh, we're entrepreneurs. No, what we were is we just created a job for ourselves. Yes. Like that's it. Yeah. And so we didn't have any time freedom, which network marketing is kind of the exact opposite.
It's literally the exact opposite of everything. And I honestly feel this should be taught in school. Like, you get a choice, kids. You can work 55 years. It used to be 40. I think it's 55 now. Or you can create this right out of high school. I was talking to somebody yesterday about that. Like, imagine having this opportunity at 18. I mean, give me a break, right? What you could do with your life. So one last question I'll ask is, where do you think the future is in network marketing? Do you see it just becoming, because now that we do have online, people are not having, years ago you'd have to bring people to home parties or bring them to a hotel or bring them to see a presentation somewhere. I see it now as, wow, this has just opened up so much more for everybody. Where do you see network marketing going in the future?
I see it becoming very normal. I see it becoming a just like getting a job at wherever, like graduating, getting a job. I see network marketing as being like just a normal thing for people to get involved in, especially because of social media, social selling, so to speak, influence marketing, affiliate marketing. I mean, network marketing is really all those things, but better, because unlike affiliate marketing or influence marketing, with network marketing, you actually have support, you have systems, you have trainings, you have community, you have environments, you have all these things in place to stack you to create a legacy, long-term residual business, unlike those other options. So I see it becoming just a very like, oh yeah, I'm in network marketing. What do you do? Like just normal thing. I do think that we will start seeing more people wanting to come together for little home parties and things. That's kind of gone out. I think that's going to come back in, because I think people are really seeking connections and seeking relationships, which is why I love network marketing versus like affiliate marketing, because affiliate is very transactional. They purchase the pants from you, they purchase the candle, whatever it is that you're an affiliate, some spices, whatever, and it's okay, bye-bye.
No, you're right.
Where with network marketing, like, the people that you're working with, if they're married, if they have kids, what they do for a living, what their pain points are, where they're hurting, and how you can help them. And you just build these relationships. And I believe people are seeking that connection. And that's where network marketing can really bridge that gap.
That's
happening right now in the world.
Yeah. And I love that too, because there's so many ways to do it. You can still have a home party. You can still just dial up the phone. You can still meet people out and about at a restaurant. You can get social media. So I feel like everybody can get in where they fit in and start, and then kind of branch out. So, man, I just love listening to you. You're so sweet. Your voice is amazing. I always go ahead and listen to Kate forever. I love getting to know you even a little bit more, and this was great. So you guys, if you're home thinking about network marketing, should I or shouldn't I, dip your toe in the water. I mean, just be sure you get with a reputable company. And really, I mean, any other advice that you have, last minute advice for anybody thinking about wanting to, create this income stream, or just dip their toe in the water a bit? Any last minute advice?
I would say, like you said, find a company that you believe in and that is solid for sure. For sure.
Number one.
Number one. And secondly, identify yourself as a leader and a business owner. And once you accept that identity, you're going to show up differently in your business. If you identify yourself as an employee, you're going to struggle in network marketing. But if you identify yourself as a leader and as a business owner, you're going to take this on in a different mindset. And I think you're really setting yourself up for success if you look at it that way. If you treat it like a hobby, it's going to pay you like a hobby. If you treat it like a business, it will pay you like a business. So treat it like it is, and it will pay you for showing up and doing the work. So that would be my advice.
Absolutely.
Work on that identity. Who are you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that so much. You can't just take off 3 or 4 weeks, and you wouldn't do that if you owned a pizza shop.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So thank you so much, Kate. You guys, thank you so much for tuning in again. Lori Hart here, Kate Higdon signing off. Go and create your own life and ignite your own story. We'll see you again soon. Thank you for joining us on Her Story Beyond the Sale. I'm Lori Hart, and it has been a pleasure bringing you the stories that light the way in network marketing. Remember, this journey is about breaking free from the glass ceiling, creating time, embracing financial independence, and building a life that resonates with your dreams. Do not let fear hold you back. Your story is waiting to be written. Until next time, keep rising, keep inspiring, and keep creating